Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are going to continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 5. Today we have to read text 21. Does anyone want to say what we read yesterday? What were the verses we read yesterday?
Hare Krishna, we read that Sukadeva Goswami was telling Parikshit Maharaj, he was explaining the analogy of Nārada Muni, and then he mentioned that the entire world is following the West, forgetting the Shastras, and everyone wants to just become like them, but they have forgotten their goal of life, and
Well, that's in the purport.
that keeps them.
Yeah,
That was in the purport. That they will just get entangled in this material world out of it, and the highest goal is to get Krishna. And then the analogy was explained about the time. Time was compared to the sharp razors, and then he also said that the time lost cannot come back, so we should use it very wisely in serving Krishna, in understanding our spiritual realization. We should spend time doing that. And then he also explained about the nivritti and the pravritti marg, that all shastras give us the nivritti marg. That's the way we can get out of this material world. And one should follow the instructions of shastras and get out of their material sinful life and surrender the feet of Krishna and go back to Godhead. And then also about the Shastras, in the last one, we also talked that how the Harshvas, if I'm forgetting the name correct or not, that how they understood very, very properly that the father is the Shastras are the father, and the Guru, scriptures, Shastras, and the Guru is their instructions are the instructions of the father. And yes, Nārada Muni, Sukadeva Goswami was telling all this to Parikshit Maharaj.
Thank you.
And initiation is the beginning. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm sorry. Some of it was in the purports by Srila Prabhupada. And
Yes.
some of it was in what Sukadeva Goswami was telling Parikshit.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. So we are going to continue with text 21. One more. Okay. Iti vyavasita rajan.
Iti vyavasita
rajan.
Haryashva ekachetasa.
Haryashva
ekachetasa.
Prayayustam parikramya.
Prayayustam parikramya.
Panthanam anivartanam.
Panthanam anivartanam.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sukadeva Goswami continued, My dear king, after hearing the instructions of Nārada, the Haryashvas, the sons of Prajāpati Dakṣa were firmly convinced. They all believed in his instructions and reached the same conclusion. Having accepted him as their spiritual master, they circumambulated that great sage and followed the path by which one never returns to this world. From this verse, we can understand the meaning of initiation and the duties of a disciple and spiritual master. The spiritual master never instructs his disciple, take a mantra from me, pay me some money, and by practicing this yoga system, you will become very expert in materialistic life. This is not the duty of a spiritual master. Rather, the spiritual master teaches the disciple how to give up materialistic life. And the disciple's duty is to assimilate his instructions and ultimately follow the path back home, back to Godhead, from whence no one returns to this material world. So the Haryashvas, they are following the instructions of Narad Muni. They accepted him as their spiritual master and they followed his instructions, the path towards liberation. So Prabhupada is explaining here that this is what real initiation means. And this is what the real spiritual master does, helps us get out of the material world. He's saying not that a spiritual master will say, okay, pay me some money, take this mantra, and then enjoy this world. After hearing the instructions of Narad Muni, the Haryashvas, the sons of Prajāpati Dakṣa, decided not to be entangled in materialistic life by begetting hundreds of children and having to take care of them. This would have been unnecessarily entangling. The Haryashvas did not consider pious and impious activities. The materialistic father had instructed them to increase the population. But because of the words of Narad Muni, they could not heed that instruction. Narad Muni, as their spiritual master, gave them the Shastric injunctions that they should give up this material world, and as bona fide disciples, they followed his instructions. One should not endeavor to wander to different planetary systems within this universe, for even if one goes to the topmost planetary system, Brahmalok, one must return again. Shine punyam artya lokam vishanti. The endeavors of karmis are a useless waste of time. One should endeavor to return home. I'm sorry, back to Godhead. This is the perfection of life. So why should one not try to go up to the heavenly planets? It's more enjoyment there. There's better facilities. So why one
Because
should
it's
not endeavor?
temporary. We'll come back
Temporary.
again.
That's that. Yeah, it's temporary. So where should what one's endeavor should be?
To go back to Golok,
Yes.
home, Godhead.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 8:16, Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartin orjuna mama paitya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, or son of Kunti, never takes birth again. So this is one more verse where Krishna is saying, come back to me. Come to the spiritual world. Come to Golok Vrindavan. Leave this world of birth and death, this place of misery. We can see throughout Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying this, he's giving this information of the spiritual world to us, to come back home. Swara Brahmani Nirbhata.
Swari Brahmani Nirbhata.
Rishikesha Padambuje.
Rishikesha Padambuje.
Akhandam Chittam Aveshya.
Akhandam Chittam Aveshya.
Lokan Anucharan Munihi.
Lokan Anucharan Munihi.
The 7 musical notes, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni, are used in musical instruments, but originally they come from the Sama Ved. The great sage Nārada vibrates sounds describing the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. By such transcendental vibrations, such as Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He fixes his mind at the lotus feet of the Lord. Thus he directly perceives Rishikesh, the master of the senses. After delivering the Haryashvas, Narad Muni continued traveling throughout the planetary systems, his mind always fixed at the lotus feet of the Lord. The goodness of the great sage Narad Muni is described herewith. He always chants about the pastimes of the Lord and delivers the fallen souls back to Godhead. In this regard, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung Narada Muni Bhajaye Veena Radhika Ramana Name Nama Amani Udita Haya Bhakta Gita Same Amiya Dhara Varishe Ghana Shravana Jugale Giya Bhakta Jana Saghane Nache Bharya Apana Hiya Madhuri Pura Asab Pashi Mataya Jagate Jane Kehava Kande Kehava Nache Kehamate Mane Mane Panchavadana Narade Dhari Premera Saghana Rola Kamalashana Nachi Abale Bola Bola Hari Bola. Sahasranana Paramasukhe Hari Hari Bali Gai Nama Prabhave Matila Vishwa Nama Rase Sabapai Shri Krishna Nama Rasanispuri Purala Amar Ash Shri Rupa Pade Yache Iha Bhakti Vinoda Das. The purport of this song is that Narad Muni, the great soul, plays a stringed instrument called a veena, vibrating the sound Radhika Raman, which is another name for Krishna. As soon as he strokes the strings, all the devotees begin responding, making a very beautiful vibration. Accompanied by the stringed instrument, the singing seems like a shower of nectar, and all the devotees dance in ecstasy to the fullest extent of their satisfaction. While dancing, they appear madly intoxicated with ecstasy, as if drinking the beverage called Madhuri Pura. Some of them cry, some of them dance, and some of them, although unable to dance publicly, dance within their hearts. Lord Shiva embraces Narad Muni and begins talking in an ecstatic voice. And seeing Lord Shiva dancing with Narad, Lord Brahma also joins, saying, "All of you kindly chant, Hari Bol, Hari Bol." The king of heaven, Indra, also gradually joins with great satisfaction and begins dancing and chanting, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. In this way, by the influence of the transcendental vibration of the holy name of God, the whole universe becomes ecstatic. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, when the universe becomes ecstatic, my desire is satisfied. I therefore pray unto the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami that this chanting of Hare Nam may go on nicely like this. So Prabhupada here is giving us the Vachan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where Narad Muni is singing his veena, and all the demigods are also joining, and everyone is ecstatically dancing and singing the holy name. And with this ecstatic chanting, the whole entire universe is satisfied. Lord Brahma is the guru of Narad Muni, who is the guru of Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva is the guru of Madhvacharya. Thus, the Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya is in the disciplic succession from Narad Muni. So, who's Narad Muni's guru?
Brahmaji.
And Narad Muni's disciple is? One of the disciples mentioned here is?
Vyasdev.
Vyasdev, yeah. Vyasdev. And who's Madhvacharya's guru?
Vyasadev.
Vyasadev.
Vyasadev ji is the Madhavacharya's guru.
That's right. So we can see the disciplic succession. Lord Brahma to Narad Muni to Vyasadev, and Vyasadev to Madhvacharya. So this is the Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya. This is Sampradaya coming from Lord Brahma, disciplic succession coming from Narad Muni. The members of this disciplic succession, in other words, the members of the Krishna consciousness movement, should follow in the footsteps of Narad Muni by chanting the transcendental vibration. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. They should go everywhere to deliver the fallen souls by vibrating the Hare Krishna mantra and the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Caitaniya Caritamita. Because that's what Narad Muni is doing. He's going everywhere. Wherever he goes, he's chanting Hare Krishna. Wherever he goes, he's giving everyone Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada is saying Narad Muni is our spiritual master. We are coming in his disciplic succession. So we should follow his instructions. We should chant Hare Krishna, and we should give others the chanting of Hare Krishna. And we should give others the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Caitaniya Caritamita, that will please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can spiritually advance if one actually follows the instructions of Narad Muni. If one pleases Narad Muni, then the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishikesh, is also pleased. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasada. That by pleasing the spiritual master, one pleases Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, if one pleases Narad Muni, then one pleases Krishna. The immediate spiritual master is the representative of Narad Muni. There is no difference between the instructions of Narad Muni and those of the present spiritual master. Both Nārada Muni and the present spiritual masters speak the same teachings of Krishna. So the teachings are the same. Hare Krishna. Does anyone want to say something? Okay. So Nārada Muni, so our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, he is also coming in the disciplic succession. He is giving us the same knowledge that Nārada Muni is giving. So they're speaking the same teachings. And, so whoever is coming in this disciplic succession will give the same teachings. And then, here we read that, where are these original music, 7 more notes coming from? The
From Samaved.
Yeah. And Nārada Muni is describing these pastimes and he's chanting Hare Krishna. So it's the original transcendental sound vibration. The original music notes are transcendental. So the present spiritual masters speak the same teachings of Krishna, who says in Bhagavad Gita 18.65 to 66, Manmanabha Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mam Eveshyasi Satyam Te Pratijani Priyosine Sarva Dharman Parityagya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayashyami Ma Sucha. Always think of me and become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this, because you are my very dear friend. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. So Krishna is saying here in these 2 verses that you become my devotee, always think of me, worship me, offer obeisances to me, and you will come to me. He's saying, I'm promising you. He's saying, don't worry. We may worry, but are we going to offend any other great personalities? He's saying, don't worry, I promise you. You will come to me. He's saying, I will deliver you. There will be whatever sinful reactions are there, I will protect you. Don't fear. So Krishna is telling us that to take shelter of him, saying, don't worry, I'm there for you. He's encouraging us to take his shelter. Rather, it's his instruction also, surrender. Surrender. He's commanding, surrender to me. Questions, comments?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, yeah, I just want to add here one of the news I had heard a while ago. It was not very long back. So that is also about the sound. I don't know if you have heard about, anyone has heard about that news. The importance of, sound, how it really helps. They did some kind of a research in a pyramid. I don't know if anyone knows about this. And that sound that they made, it was making some kind of, form on the wall, or a very, very strong rock. The rock, even if you hammer that rock in the pyramid, nothing can happen. But when you play a sound inside the pyramid, it was giving some kind of formations, like an eye of a god or something. And this was in the news. Many scientists were there, many archaeologists were there. So I think how the sound really works, they couldn't really understand. But, they are talking about the Nārada Muni's Veena sound, the importance of chanting. Probably they should be, researching more here, rather, I feel. I just felt this way now, remembering about this importance of sound. Yeah, just wanted to add. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, sound is very important because our consciousness
Yes.
helps purify.
Yes, it makes us feel so peaceful when we chant, so peaceful, very
That's
peaceful.
right.
Yeah.
Because there is also there was also a lecture by Baldev Prabhu on the sound. He said about the importance of the sound, that how it is the first thing, because even that sound of tapa heard by Brahmaji, it was so powerful, and he had given the importance of sound, and that how the sound can purify Chetodarpan Marjanam. You just chant and you just hear with your ears. He said that two basic things. You don't have to do anything. Forget, even yesterday in his lecture at the center, there was this yoga center, and he said the same thing, that there is, oh, okay, you want to get Krishna? He said, do you want to get Krishna? And then everybody said yes. And then he said, there are just two things you need to do. And then everybody was curious, and he said, okay, the first thing is that you chant, you say Krishna's name, you make that sound, and the second is just hear it. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. Everything else will fall in place, and it will just happen gradually. When you do this with faith, slowly faith, love, it will be cleared. So like very beautifully he said about that. And previously also he mentioned about the sound. So yes, Krishna Baldev Prabhu said that too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
हाँ, जैसे हम कोई भी एक शब्द भी बोलते हैं ना, तो वो तरंगों में चारों तरफ यूनिवर्स में घूम जाता है। तो हम चैंट करेंगे तो हमारे भी बॉडी में एक एक नस में सारे में गूंजेगा। और जैसे इकोसिस्टम है, हम एक बार कुछ शब्द बोलते हैं तो चारों ओर इकोसिस्टम में चले जाते हैं।
Yeah. सही है।
आंटी ने जो बोला है ना, उससे सिर्फ एक और चीज है। आदि गदाधर प्रभु ने कहा था कि आप जो, जैसे एक पेड़ भी है, एक एंट भी है आपके पास, तो आप जब चैंट करते हो ना, वहां पे हर एक उसको प्यार से जाके, कभी पेड़ है उसको हक करके बोलो हरे कृष्णा, यू विल फील कि उसको कितना वो मिल रहा है। आप कितना कर रहे हो, मतलब वो इवन चैंट, आप गार्डन में कभी जाते हो, जस्ट सिट देयर एंड यू कैन चैंट हरे कृष्णा, तो वहां जो जीव है, जो इवन एक एंट है, उसको कितना वो मिल रहा है, उसको मतलब उसको कितना वो मिलेगी सुकृति, और उसको कितनी रिलीफ मिलेगी, क्योंकि वो भी अपने पोजीशन में है। तो जैसे आंटी ने जो कहा ना, उससे याद आया कि एवरीथिंग अराउंड अस, और अगर स्पेशली हम हरे कृष्णा का जाप करते हैं तो उनके लिए इतना बेनिफिशियल है। दैट्स व्हाई दे गो आउट एंड डू संकीर्तन, के पेड़ भी हैं, कितने जीव हैं, इवन घर में भी आप, हाँ, सबका उद्धार होता है। इट्स सो पावरफुल। यस, इट इज वेरी transcendental. Sorry, yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I think, what Auntie said, how every word echoes, it's very important. You know how we keep saying Uvacha, Uvacha, it's very important what we say, every word we have to be careful what we say, because this is vibrating all around. It echoes back. So every word we have to choose wisely. Now, like how Nārada Muni is actually giving an amazing invitation to come to the kingdom of God. Amazing, and educating about the soul. We didn't know about it. So it is so amazing. I mean, he's actually telling us, please come here. Be wise enough how you are acting. Don't just do anything and everything. Be wise. Choose wisely. Everything. And now that we are hearing about sound and how Rashmi Auntie is saying about tarango and echoes in the world, Uvacha, we have to remember when we every time read the verses, every word is so important. Rather we chant. If we don't know what we are saying, rather we just chant. Speak less. Just chant. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा सबको जागृत करता है। एक भी शब्द हम बोलते हैं तो हम आजू बाजू जो भी हैं सब जागृत हो जाते हैं, अलर्ट हो जाते हैं।
Thank you so much. Nasham nishamya putranam.
Nasham nishamya
putranam.
Nārada shalinam.
Nārada
Shalinam.
Anvatapyatka shochan
Anvat
But
payat
Pyataka
shochan.
Shochan.
suprajastvam shucham padam.
Suprajastvam
Prajastvam Sucham
padam.
Padam.
The Haryashvas, the sons of Prajāpati Dakṣa, were very well behaved, cultured sons, but unfortunately, because of the instructions of Nārada Muni, they deviated from the order of their father. When Daksh heard this news, which was brought to him by Nārada Muni, he began to lament. Although he was the father of such good sons, he had lost them all. Certainly, this was lamentable. The Haryashvas, the sons of Prajāpati Daksh, were certainly well behaved, learned, and advanced. And in accordance with the order of their father, they went to perform austerities to beget good sons for their family. But Nārada Muni took advantage of their good behavior and culture to properly direct them not to be involved with this material world, but to use their culture and knowledge to end their material affairs. So, we also can see, we find somebody nice and pious, we can preach to them about Krishna if they're willing to hear. So, but like here, Nārada Muni saw such nice, cultured boys, good behavior, let me preach to them. So, following in the footsteps of the Mahajan, when we find somebody being very nice, very pious, can preach to them. The Haryashvas
So
abided by the order. Huh?
Hare Krishna. No, that's what I say that unfortunately, but I don't think it's unfortunately. I think it's very
Yeah.
fortunate. For the
Yeah.
Haryashvas,
That's right. That's
So
right.
that's what I was like wondering why
That's
does it
right.
say unfortunately?
Because
It's
from
fortunate.
because of
Yeah.
viewpoint of Daksha, from his viewpoint. But otherwise, of course, it's the highest fortune.
Yeah, it's like that's the highest fortune they've got, like,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
being in contact with Nārada Muni, they've come in contact with.
Yeah, it's the greatest fortune.
And also, yeah, it's
What
also
is that verse? I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, I feel this way. I mean, actually, Daksh may have not realized, but he also got Nivritri, right? I mean, even if he lost his son, he's losing attachments. So in this way,
Not yet.
indirectly,
Not yet.
not yet,
Not yet.
not
Not
yet.
yet. Let's read on.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
read on. Yeah,
yeah.
let's
Hare
read on.
Krishna.
But this Nārada Muni's contact, what Sneha was saying, very good. And Sneha, what verse comes to mind? Haryashva's contact with Nārada Muni.
Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha.
Yes.
Sarva
Yes.
Shastre
Yeah.
kahe, love matra sadhu sange. Sarva siddhi hai.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. That's true. Thank you. So the Haryashvas abided by the order of Nārada Muni, but when the news of this was brought to Prajāpati Daksh, the Prajāpati, instead of being happy with the actions of Nārada Muni, was extremely sorrowful. Similarly, we are trying to bring as many young men as possible to the Krishna consciousness movement for their ultimate benefit. But the parents of the young men joining this movement, being very sorry, are lamenting and making counter propaganda. Yeah, a lot of young people's parents were very upset. There was propaganda going on. There was a lot of things Prabhupada had to face. Of course, Prajāpati Daksh did not make propaganda against Nārada Muni, but later, as we shall see, Daksh cursed Nārada Muni for his benevolent activities. This is the way of materialistic life. A materialistic father and mother want to engage their sons in begetting children, striving for improved economic conditions, and rotting in materialistic life. They are not unhappy when their children become spoiled, useless citizens, but they lament when they join the Krishna consciousness movement to achieve the ultimate goal of life. It's true, no? It's
Yeah.
true.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, anyway. This animosity between parents and the Krishna consciousness movement has existed since time immemorial. Even Nārada Muni was condemned not to speak of others. Nevertheless, Nārada Muni never gives up his mission to deliver as many fallen souls as possible. He continues playing his musical instrument and vibrating the transcendental sound. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hari Hari. So Nārada Muni is going everywhere, delivering everyone, making devotees everywhere. He wants to bring everyone to the spiritual world. Sabhuya Pancha Janyayam
Sabhuya Panchajanyayam
Ajena Parishantvita
Ajena Parisantvidhaha
Putran Ajan Yad Dakṣa
Putran Ajanayat Dakṣa
Dakṣa
Savalashvan Sahasrinaha.
Savlakshvan
Laswan
Sahasrinaha.
Sahasrinaha.
When Prajāpati Dakṣa was lamenting for his lost children, Lord Brahma pacified him with instructions, and thereafter Dakṣa begot 1,000 more children in the womb of his wife, Panchajani. This time his sons were known as the Savalashvas. So the Haryashvas were how many? Does anyone remember?
10,000?
10,000.
10,000.
There were
Yeah.
10,000.
Now he's gotten 1,000. Savalashvas. Prajāpati Dakṣa was so named because he was very expert in begetting children. The word Dakṣa means expert. First, he begot 10,000 children in the womb of his wife, and when the children were lost, when they returned home, back to Godhead, he begot another set of children known as the Savalashvas. Prajāpati Dakṣa is very expert in begetting children, and Nārada Muni is very expert in delivering all the conditioned souls back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, the materialistic experts do not agree with the spiritual expert Nārada Muni. But this does not mean that Nārada Muni will give up his engagement of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So Prabhupada is saying, Nārada Muni gets the opposition, but he doesn't stop chanting and he doesn't give up reclaiming lost fallen souls. Hare Krishna, was somebody saying something?
No, I was just laughing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, true. Teja Pitra Samadhishta.
Teja
Teja
Pitra
Pitra
Samadhishta.
Samadhishta
Praja Sarge Dhrita Vrata.
Praja
Praja
Sarge
Sarge
Vita
Dhrita
Vritaha.
Narayan Saro Jagmur.
Narayan
Narayana
Saro
Saro
Jagmur.
Jagmur.
Yatra Siddhaha Swapurvaja.
Yatra
Yatra
Siddha
Siddha
Swapurvajaha.
Swapurvaja.
In accordance with their father's order to beget children, the second group of sons also went to Narayan Saras, the same place where their brothers had previously attained perfection, by following the instructions of Nārada. Undertaking great vows of austerity, the Savalashvas remained at that holy place. Prajāpati Dakṣa sent his second group of sons to the same place where his previous sons had attained perfection. He did not hesitate to send his second group of sons to the same place, although they too might become victims of Nārada's instructions. According to Vedic culture, one should be trained in spiritual understanding as a brahmachari before entering household life to beget children. This is the Vedic system. Thus, Prajāpati Dakṣa sent a second group of sons for cultural improvement, despite the risk that because of the instructions of Nārada, they might become as intelligent as their older brothers. As a dutiful father, he did not hesitate to allow his sons to receive cultural instructions concerning the perfection of life. He depended upon them to choose whether to return home back to Godhead or to rot in this material world in various species of life. So Prabhupada is saying, Dakṣa is not saying, oh, no, I'm not going to send my second set of sons because then they also might take up devotional service, So he's also telling, no, you go do the austerities because it's important. That was the Vedic system. In all circumstances, the duty of the father is to give cultural education to his sons, who must later decide which way to go. Responsible fathers should not hinder their sons who are making cultural advancement and association with the Krishna consciousness movement. This is not a father's duty. The duty of a father is to give his son complete freedom to make his choice after becoming spiritually advanced by following the instructions of the spiritual master. So Prabhupada is saying Daksh did not become like a hindrance. He didn't say, oh, I'm not going to send you. That
So it's like sending to Gurukul, right? That's what it means, right?
No, not
Sending the
Gurukul. He
kids
sent
to
them to do austerities before they get
but
married.
also the cultural, right? The cultural
Yeah,
they
that's
have to learn.
initial. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the initial stages. That's right. But right now he sent them to do austerities before they get married.
Oh.
You know, because they are of that age, so he sent them, okay, you go do austerities and then come and then you get children. Tad upasparshanad eva.
Tat
Tat
uparshanat eva
eva
Vinirdhuta malashaya.
Vinirdhuta malashaya
Japanto Brahma Paramam.
Japanto Brahma Paramam
Te pustatra mahattapa.
Te
Te
pustatra
pustatra
mahattapaha.
mahattapaha.
At Narayan Saras, the second group of sons performed penances in the same way as the first. They bathed in the holy water, and by its touch all the dirty material desires in their hearts were cleansed away. They murmured mantras beginning with Omkar and underwent a severe course of austerity. So it's a very purifying place. It's a very, very sacred place. This Narayan Saras, that they were being purified just by being there, doing austerities there, bathing in the waters there. Every Vedic mantra is called Brahma because each mantra is preceded by the Brahmaskar, Om or Omkar. For example, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. In all the Vedic mantras, I am represented by Pranava or Omkar. So the Om, when we are chanting Om, that is Krishna, refers to Krishna. All Vedic mantras start with Om. That is Krishna. Thus, chanting the Vedic mantras beginning with Omkar is directly chanting of Krishna's name. There is no difference whether one chants Omkar or addresses the Lord as Krishna. The meaning is the same, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended that in this age one chant the Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam. Although there is no difference between Hare Krishna and the Vedic mantras beginning with Omkar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the leader of the spiritual movement for this age, has recommended that one chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So there's no difference between any mantra starting with Om and Hare Krishna mantra. But we are recommended to chant the Hare Krishna mantra by Lord Chaitanya, who came to give us the Yuga Dharma, the chanting of the holy names. So that's why we chant Hare Krishna. Comments, questions? Okay. So we'll stop here for today.
Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna, thank you so much.